Hello! Yes, this is exciting. I'm excited today. And good morning. Welcome to number 31 of Sunday Morning Coffee. I'm finally in my new filming space. I thought I'd got it perfect, but there's a cheeky cable down there. I'll give you a little show of it in a bit. It's not very exciting. I mostly put some purple on the wall in this sort of peelable off, which means that when I actually do move, it's probably not going to peel off and I'll lose my bond, but it's on now. So there's also my lovely tree there. Hello, yay, some people coming in. Morning, I've got some answers to your questions, Ewan, so I figured you'd be here, so I thought I'd answer here. Let's wait for some people to roll in. I've got a chunk of books for you today to show off. I have my Angeli mug, to fit the new delicate look. Oh, delicate skinny pigs. Woo. So yeah, this space is a bit wider. Obviously, you have to film this way on YouTube Facebook Lives. So I've got it so it's, you know, plan it, but then I haven't totally got it ready for showing. But there, look. Ooh, more purples. More purples. More purples. And I need to sort that area out. That's a bit of a mess. But that's all going to be in shot of the wide ones. Woo! So, there we go. Whoa! Whoa! Where was I? Was I here? Get a bit more tree in then. Tree's pretty cool. There we are. I've got a little stool to sit on. So, yes, that's all ready because I keep meaning to do more videos and not other than the lives. So, that's really cool. So that's something I got done. It's totally going to rip the paper up, the paint off the wall. I peeled a little bit off and went, yeah. I didn't know you could only film portrait on Facey Live. Yeah, it's weird, but that's how it works. It's just a pain when I upload it to YouTube because then it's just this little sliver in there. Good morning, everyone who has came along. It is another week has gone by. Got quite a lot to talk about this time as well. I have this wonderful mug from Angeli, thank you. Some lovely delicate guinea pigs on this time. And as I drink my coffee, it will reveal this extra pig inside. I've been away for the last couple of days, so I missed my pigs as I came back and they got all pig happiness. It was Mum's birthday. I'm not sure if she's watching. I'm sure she will make herself known if she is. But yeah, my mum was 69 on Thursday, so I went down to visit and took her out, and I was there yesterday, but we went around some charity shops in Kettering, and I haven't found a cluster of charity shops in Nottingham yet. I've only sort of found one or two, so not enough to go on a hunt, and I realised that they are gold mines for World War II books, so I've got a big stack there to show you that I've raided. I had to pretty much drag this massive bag of books back, but it was worth it. They're so cheap. I hit up the works as well because they've always got some nice cheapy books. Where? Carol says, loving the swanky new hairstyle. Thank you. It is not real. It felt being a bit more glam today, just for fun. It's not. Yeah, it clips in though. It's pretty cool. But I've been doing so much tidying. I keep finding, you know, when you find all the treasures you have around the place. So I found my hair. Like, I think I had two of them. One salute, I had this grand idea that I was going to have enormous pigtails and all this fancy stuff. And then I remember just how hot it is there. I kind of want to dress up as Shield Maiden for salute, but it's t-shirts. It's very sweaty there. I think I'd probably die. Morning, Mum. Mum is Lillian, so if you have not wished her a happy birthday yet, feel free to. And belated happy birthday, Mother. Well, belated, I gave you on the day. We went to see Psychic Sally Morgan on Friday, which I'll mention very briefly because I'm sure lots of you just want to hear about Bad Squiddo stuff. But I would not recommend. We went pretending to be detectives Norman and Norman, which means that we were detectives Norman and Norman. And yeah, I thought I might see some displays of good cold reading, but she sucked at cold reading. Like, that's what? She just generally sucked. I thought, I'm not closed-minded to that sort of thing, but her and her I think are quite exploitative. So I kind of wanted to see it in action. And because it was so next to Mum's birthday, it's like, I will go along. Yeah, I found it really disrespectful and manipulative and exploitative. And there were lots of crying people. So that was our entertainment. But it was quite funny watching it, because obviously when you see stuff on the telly, it's all cut to get all the hits. But when you see it live, especially in a smaller venue where it's not going to be filmed, so she doesn't care as much, it was just like, what was it? So they'd get a slight tenuous link, so she'd be like, Jonathan? And it'd be like, oh, my great uncle is Jonathan, and he was in the Navy. No. Well, someone here was, one of the ghosts here must be in the Navy. It must be a ghost crossover. And he died young? No, he died old. That must be another ghost. And you're a baker. You bake for a living. No. It's just that constantly. To the point that me and Mum were mouthing no after everything she said. But it's like, people are obviously so vulnerable because they've recently lost something quite traumatic. So she'd do all these no's, and then she'd get just a random, have you been swimming before? I have, yes. And then they'd get all upset. It's horrible, but mildly entertaining. So I don't know if I'd recommend going, because it's giving her money and I begrudged giving her money. But it was an experience for sure. I think if she's local, it might be worth checking out. But that's what she does. Maybe that's it. I'm advertising her. I think when I went to the toilet, I heard quite a few people sort of going, "Ah, this is bollocks." So, like, even if most people there are there because they think it's bollocks, then I probably shouldn't say bollocks. Then she's still making a career out of it. So I don't know. But I did find some good Top Sally fails on YouTube. So yeah, check that out. Don't worry, I'll tell you some bad Squiddo news. Oh yeah, totally emotional vampires. Although the best bit, there were two women and their mum. Yeah, it was their mum. And they come up on the big screen so everyone can see them. And one had exactly the same face that I had on, which was... and I think the mum might have had a couple of wines or something, because they were going through the motions, and then she started getting some fails, and then she got onto something. And what was it? So the woman, she asked the mum if her mum was in spirit. And she said yes. Then she started on, "I guess your mum is here. Yep, she's here." And she said, because they always say, "Oh, they love you and they're happy here." And then the girl whispered to her mum, and then she went, "Oh yeah, my mum's not dead. I forgot. Sorry, I got confused. She is alive." That's amazing. This is like it's a sitcom. This is amazing. But she just moves on. She doesn't go, "Oh well, I've just made up your dead mum," even though she is alive and at home. But yeah, it was interesting. But I'll talk about more bad Squiddos. Although maybe you just want to hear about that, I'll just talk about that for half an hour. Yeah, we met two women in the interval that said it was unmentionable swears, and they were off clubbing instead. So I thought that was a good idea. I was hoping for Little Egg, but we didn't get a Little Egg. A little pig. There was a dog named Bella was in the Spirit Land. So. Right, where to start? What has this week? This week has been awesome. I am, as you can tell, being an ace at the moment, as I am the master of the roller coaster. Currently at the top of the roller coaster, and have been for about 2 weeks. So everyone's a bit scared that I'm gonna go woo, but see how long it can last. So it's been a week of getting lots and lots of things done, which is beautiful. Spring. I don't know what I've done. I've just been, this is really cheesy. It's another of my cheesy ads. My friend got me this book and it is the best. And other than the what was it, the Caribbean Women in World War II book. It's the fastest I've read a book in a long time. So I would recommend this book. But it's kind of just put everything that I've been trying to do together. So it's just about, yeah, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. And it's sort of cemented together all these little other bits I've been trying to do into a bit of a plan. So I've been doing a lot of routine, trying to build some routine and good habits as per the book. So making sure that I'll get up, do certain things. I finish at 7 o'clock now, bang. Whereas I normally just work till I'm a bit dead and then go home, feed pigs, go to bed. So if I know I've got a finish point, it was really good one point this week where it was, I think it was about 6:20 and I was at work going, oh, don't wanna. and then it's, oh, I've got 40 minutes. Okay, I've got 40 minutes left. Let's crack on, get stuff done. So it's that, like, doing less hours, even though it's kind of not, because I get up at 5 and head to work at 6. So that's a long day anyway. But to have it contained in that time, I think I'm going to get more done rather than just this endless sort of slog. So I've now been like scheduling fun time so I can schedule pig time. I've been keeping on top of my chores. Everyone who knows me is getting quite uncertain about what this creature is, so it's it's good though, it's good. So I've been ace, which means Vasquito has been ace because I've been getting lots and lots of the tasks done. I'll go into the Kickstarter in a bit actually because I've got quite a few cool things to say about that. Just gonna eat more coffee. So I was just looking at the comments. Hello everyone, we've got a really good amount of people here today. I reckon it's the hair. I think I'm gonna wear the hair more. Talking of which, so I'll show you my charity shop haul, which is all it's all World War II related, as I discovered that they have a lot of World War II books in there. Just sometimes they're just for I don't read every single one of the books. Some of them I do. Other ones I sort of will flick through, or I'll look for something that catches my eye, or it might just be one photo. So it's good to get second-hand books and not spend all the money on loads and loads. Annie is ace. I would buy that slogan on a t-shirt. Hello Vicky, I've just had a little message pop up say that one of my super bestest friends, Vicky, is watching. Hello, but she doesn't have Facebook, so she can't see it. But hello, she got engaged yesterday and I'm super proud for her. Yay, really exciting. Well done Vicky and your angel man who I need to meet. So yes, so other books I purchased yesterday. This is exciting for myself and Angeli. These were a whole pound. Whoa! So I know it's reversed, so it's vintage hairstyles, how to, and retro makeup, how to. So we're totally going to have a hair and makeup evening. But it's also, as well as me just messing about, as I've kind of, I don't know what the word is, but I'm, yeah, starting to mess about with stuff like this and the thing. It's all quite exciting, having not done such sort of things before. I was like, oh, this could actually be fun. But aside from that, it's just really good reference for my sculptors. God, that one's terrible. The homemaker. Have a pie. But my sculptors are well into, they have to be into all of these crazy hairdos. And I'm normally scouting about online, but there's some really good ones. So when I do figures, I always send them, oh yeah, Sim come to hair thing. We should have hair evening. So all these, because I use Hairdresser online and stuff to share with sculptors, that's how we get all those little details really lovely in the minis. It's not just, I don't know, do some 40s hair. It's like, right, let's find a cool hairdo. So there's loads in here. Oh, tells you how to glue gun your own flower hair things. Ooh. Oh, so that was just me sat reading going, oh, I like that one. I like that one. I'd like that one, please. And the hairdo on the front is very similar to Angeli's miniature, which will be part of the Kickstarter, where she's peeping out of the one-person shelter. But again, I'll get after the book demonstration, and we'll get to some pretty cool World War II updates. Woo! So yeah, that was wicked. £1. £1. I haven't, and I don't make up apart from glitter, but I'm intrigued. I've got this sudden like intrigue to at least learn. So this is totally like a different language for me, but it could be fun to go with the hairdos. So, oh, I like that one. She's going, oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one too. Oh, that was good. That was good. Yeah. Oh, that could be a bit of fun. And again, it's reference for painters and stuff like that. So perfect. It's all that thinking outside the box. We've got 40 viewers. What's going on? So the rest I got were pretty World War II general, but also Battle of Britain, because I've been obviously doing the home front, but looking at so belated happy birthday to Mama Squiddo, yay! Yeah, looking at more Battle of Britain stuff, because I wanted to hear, I saw some really good references, because I've been, well, not ignoring, but not looking at RAF type things, because, well, I'm concentrating on women, but then a lot of the RAF accounts have got accounts about the WAF, the Women's Air Force, because I was kind of trying to find out a lot of what all the different tasks that they were doing. So even though there's less specific books on them, the men will mention, you know, what sort of, how they were involved just as part of their own memoirs and stuff. So yeah, lots of plane stuff. And that's a maybe secret side project. Not sure yet. Oh, there's some there. What are those WAF doing? Oh, it doesn't tell you. Oh, 3 WAFs decorated with MMs during the Battle of Britain. So there's some in there, look. In them WAFs. Woo! But yeah, I won't fully go through all these books, because then in half an hour I'll be gone and you won't get all your cool Kickstarter updates. But yes, I got this cool book. Woo! I get... What are you? A Handbook of World War II. Because I'm still, my general World War II knowledge is still pretty terrible, because I know the bits I've focused on, but before these projects I knew absolutely nothing. So I'm pleased with the strange niche sort of knowledge that I have, but because when I'm doing figures specifically I have to really hone in on that piece. When there's less of a time pressure and, you know, like right now, the sculptors, I've got all the briefs, the sculptors are working away, so I can step back and carry on with my general World War II learning, so I can place them in better, you know, better sort of areas. I don't know, what order a lot of the battles are in, stuff like that. So it's fun to learn that as a complementary sort of hobby to learn about. Are you doing the lady plane transport pilots, the RF in World War II? I am, yes, they're in the Kickstarter, they are sculpted, they're currently being painted. If you didn't back the Kickstarter, they're in the, they'll be in the Pledge Manager. I'll be doing a whole thing about late pledges. And sorry, I'm just distracted by these comments. But yes, there are pilots and they're so nice. So yeah, I also got War. Oh, this was from the Works. I went to the Works as well. So I've got War in the Air. So I'd like to learn more about that, because again, I don't know that much apart from the specifics of what I need to for the miniatures. I think it's okay to admit that. I think I've been into this. I've been on podcasts before saying about it, how I previously had absolutely zero interest in World War II. And then when I started researching the Soviets for the first World War II range that we did, it just sort of like opened something up, I don't know. And now I'm kind of late. I feel I'm late to it, but I'm trying to absorb as much information as I can. So I got, oh yeah, so the other one I got from the Works was Battle of Britain. Woo! So they're in the Works now, so if you want those books, they're pretty good. And again, I like books with lots of pictures, because you can sort of flick through them. Let's see. What did I get? Oh, that was from that charity shop. Red Cross. I got World War II photographs. Woohoo! Which is also good. And again, it's like mostly dudes, but there's still good references in there and just ideas. So these sort of photo books are when I'm kind of at brain dead or stuck or something, and I just sit and try it until something sort of makes me go, oh, that is happening. Like this. Look at those cute evacuees. which I will talk about in a moment. And the last book I got was also the works, and it was about Odette, who I don't know about. So another SOE lady that I haven't done yet. So I was like, good. I will learn about her. Interesting. Oh, there's a film about her. Oh, interesting. Cool. So I got all those books. So that was ace. Right, so let's get on to this Pledge Manager. Let me have a bit of coffee, and then we will talk about World War II. I like the setup. I like having these little twinklies in the background. It's nice, isn't it? And it's comfy. I've got my little stool, rather than sort of slouching back in the thingy, sofa. Yes, there will be fire service women, but not yet. I have been doing the Pledge Manager. My goal is to have it finished today. If you look on the website, it's actually there, but everything's listed as out of stock, and some of them don't have pictures, or some don't have proper pictures. So that's what I'll be finishing off. After this, I'm going to the office to finish that. And then I will do the big updates that everyone gets, and then the code rollout. On a very optimistic timescale, all this is going to happen today, but this is my optimistic timescale without anything randomly exploding or something like that. I think I can do it. But yeah, regarding people's requests, this Kickstarter, I think I haven't added the numbers up, but I think it's actually releasing more figures than Freya's Rough, which was my biggest Kickstarter to date. Because I was adding them all to the website. It's like, this is a lot of codes. And I was like, this is over 30 codes. And in my mind, I get it as racks. So if you've been to a trade show, you'll see the racks that I've got. Like, that's a whole rack of miniatures I've just done. And it's taken, it took half of what Freya's Rough did. So the whole point of this Kickstarter was just to get them into production, and that's fine. But it's now, like, they're in production, but I haven't... Again, I try to get this across to people that that's not... I think it was 16,000 or something, 17 for this Kickstarter. That's not me going, woohoo, 17,000! What shall I do with all this cash? That's them existing, basically. And so that's good, and I'm really pleased with it. But I've kind of, because the number wasn't as high, say, as Freya's Rough, in my head I keep thinking of it as the Amazon and Dwarf level, and like, this is actually a huge Kickstarter, but I just hadn't noticed, which is brilliant. But there's a lot to add, so we've got the whole load of minis have been released. I am not going to be doing any extras for a while because I need to make that money. I need to make that money to cover them and to cover their production. And I know the Kickstarter does that, but only just about. So they're going to need to pay for themselves, basically, and get that up and running, get them into shops and all that sort of stuff. So it's one of the reasons I get a bit grumpy when I was like, I've just done 2 weeks of World War II stuff. And really stretched and, you know, sort of done what I can to get as many out there for you as possible. And then someone will go, oh, that's cool, but have you done this? So they will get, obviously that's not me done with Homefront World War II. There will be lots and lots to come. But I need again, I'm on a small company on a tiny budget. And I've got quite a few sub-ranges. So we've got, in World War II even, we've got the Home Front and the Soviets, we've got the Shield Maidens, the Gothic horror, the sci-fi, the animals, the Anna Begeisha. I think that's it. The dwarves and the Amazons, so they're all the sort of sub-ranges. And they all need to have a bit of love, and so I try to sort of rotate around them. I'm doing some Shield Maidens. Shield Maidens needing some love. I was thinking, I haven't released a Shield Maiden for ages. We may or will. I will have a new Shield Maiden out. Absolute. A hero with the pets. I got some, there's so much to talk about. I've just been talking about books. It's going to be a longer than half an hour one. Hey. But yeah, there's going to be... I like to rotate it around, and the Soviets need a bit more loving as well. So they're going to get something a lot bigger later on in the year. But yeah, I've just got to keep rotating around. I can't do everything of everything all the time. if I get some mega investor. There was someone on a Facebook group saying, I've got £10,000 that I want to just put into the industry. Where shall I put it? So please, please, please. But I don't think he's going to give me 10,000. That'd be lovely. Then I could just chuck a load more shield mains. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But just yeah, it's incredible that we're going to have such a massive home front World War II range. And we never will be able to cover every single type of everything, because I don't want to be a home front company. I want to be a women of history company, so there's lots to cover. And the more obscure something gets, then the less people buy it, and therefore it won't pay for itself. So there's all that sort of to take into account. There's lots of things that would be cool, but whether they'll work or not. At least with these figures, we've also got those rolls coming out with the lardies as well, which is really cool. What else? Let me have coffee. I'm sped up. Any more Gothic we need to see? Well, that's what alerted my attention. I'm going to start almost, I don't know how I'd visualise it, but something visual where it can be sort of like, last miniatures released for this range was here. So they're almost like a traffic light, so I make sure no one gets forgotten. I think I'm meeting up with Gary Morley soon, and he's sculpted a lot of the Gothic range, so I'm kind of intrigued maybe to add some more. But it's just all entirely budget. So again, that the home front Kickstarter did go really well, but because I chucked loads of extra unlocks and things in there, that's also come out of my available money pool, which is fine. It's not like those Kickstarters where people go, have all the things for free, and then realise they can't actually manufacture it. But this was a bit of a tight one, and it always was going to be, because I just wanted to get those minis released. But it means that I don't really have money sat there being like, right, next project. It's just kind of like, let's get this done, get those out to people. We're still sculpting. I'll go into that in a moment. There's so much to talk about. To get, I don't know where I was going. Get more minis in more shops. I've got a few more shops this week as well, where, yeah, more shops around the world. I'll be able to announce those soon when they've got the things, and I'll give you some links. So if you're in different countries, sometimes it might be easier to buy from them, or even more if it's your local shop. That's amazing. If your local gaming shop doesn't have Bad Squiddo, you should totally go up to them and say, hey, you should get some Bad Squiddo. And send them to me or North Star. So North Star are my main distributor. And if you go to North Star, then I don't have to do as much and they can do it all. And then I just give to North Star, which is what sell to North Star. So I always go to North Star first. But it doesn't really matter which one you've got. One that I can say is Battlefield Berlin. I've been carrying some of our minis for a while, and they're now carrying the train. Yes. So if you're around there or buy from there, they have everything from the terrain range, so that is super ace. So the Kickstarter, the sculpting is still taking place. If you've been following, you'll know that I had a really bad January mentally. So a lot of things got put behind, including the sculpting, because the sculptors were waiting on my direction and I wasn't able to give them it. But they have it all now, so they are just ferreting away, being excellent. So, because I didn't want to put the pledge manager up without the sculpts all being done, but then the window would be so tight because I really want to get these at retail for Salute, which means having all the Kickstarter shipped before Salute, which is very ambitious, but Bad Squiddo does pull out all the stops and getting stuff excellent. So I'm still like, yep, that's going to happen. The only thing that I think may, depending on the time, is maybe if there's some resin bits, they might come as a separate shipment, just so people can get things so I can do it at retail. Because I understand why people do it, but I loathe seeing an undelivered Kickstarter and then the company rock up selling the stuff. Yeah, I understand why people do it, but I wouldn't have the gall to do it, which is good, because that helps you out. I don't normally do much of late pledgement, but because of the nature of this one being a bit more of a raw Kickstarter than others, you know, I didn't have much ready at the start, whereas normally everything's made, or most of the things are made, they just need the production cash. Because this one is that sort of tight, I'm putting quite a bit of spamming soon, once the pledge manager's out, into getting some late backers for that too. So if you have missed it, this is a rare chance to become a late backer on a Bad Squiddo Kickstarter. So normally don't, because I kind of think, well, if you've backed it, then you're less special maybe if late backers, I don't know. But this time, like, yeah, I could do with some late backers, it'd be cool. As always, they'll get their stuff after the backers, so that's fine. So if anyone you know is going, oh damn, I wish I had backed that, or I didn't see it, let them know. And if you only backed for a couple of bits, but you've decided you want more, you can do that too, it's all fine. If you want to collect at Salute, you can, when you do the pledge manager later, you can put the collect at Salute option, that will be fine. So much to talk about. This is even going cold. What's this? Oh, the pig. Now I've turned it around. The little pig is revealed. Steampunk ladies with weapons would be nice. It would, but I'm probably not going to do it. It's yeah, there's just so much. There's so much, which is why the idea of just having a load of money fall on my lap and just going, right, sculpt this would be amazing. But I have to be quite sensible and businessly. I got called professional this week. Take that, haters. So I know, I think people who watch me sort of regularly will get this a bit more, that I do understand that I give off the impression that I don't know what's going on, but I do know what's going on, because I run a business by myself, and have done for 5 years, so that's all good. Woo! What else have we got? Rob McFarlane, our GW sculptor, he's a freelance, so he's allowed, which is kind of cool. He did a lot of the latest Hobbit miniatures for Games Workshop. Bang! He is... What is going sproing when you put your mug down? Oh, it's because it's on the bit where that is. Broing. You can plug away, Craig, that's fine. What was I going to say? What was I saying? You've really distracted me with the sproing. Business, minis, sculpting, Rob. Rob will be coming to the office, I think, tomorrow or Tuesday. I need to give him a poke. I was doing some last minute details with him yesterday. So he is sculpting the one-person shelter, which is basically like a giant thimble. And there's the closed version. I saw it at Imperial War Museum, so if you're ever there, you can go check it out. But she didn't make it up, it was a thing. So that's at Imperial War Museum. The other version is of Angelique Bookworm, who is, it will be a civilian with, where is it? Whoa, no, not you. Whoa. With this hair peeking out, peeking out just to see if the war's over yet, or if she's not going to live in there the entire war. So to see if the bombings stop, basically. Just so you've got one as it is and one with someone peeping out. I think they'll make really good objectives, or just terrain. It's lovely. He has finished and cut up the dispatch riders, so I'll be seeing those. Him and my caster have been talking between themselves, because I was middle Annieing, so I said, just, I don't know, go talk to each other. So they have done woo. That's what they do, I think, when they communicate, casters and sculptors. They just go woo, and then they're like woo, and then the mini is made. That's how it works. So the dispatch riders are all done, ready to be moulded. The Annie is being tinkered with. So the SOE Annie is being done by Rob, and he says he just wants to tinker it a little bit and make her more action poseable. Like, so that's exciting. What else is he sculpting? He is sculpting. I have not told anyone this yet. Da, da. He is sculpting drivers and passengers for the AEC Matador, which Sarissa are making. There's a lot of people watching. Thank you. It's really exciting. Just as I'm going on a full-on nerd too. So the Matador, I announced in a Kickstarter, got drivers and passengers. And then, what was it? So now and again, especially with World War II, someone will tell me I'm wrong. And the downside is because I get splained at a lot when I'm not wrong, I get a bit defensive when someone points out that there might be an error. But then I get annoyed, and then I look, and then if I am wrong, like, it's good they told me, to be fair, because I can get it changed. So I on this occasion, I was on the train and sorting this out on my phone with Rob. I was like, where were they? Where were those people when I announced to everyone that I was doing passengers for the Matador? Because then I was on the train, on this like crammed train, looking at Matador cabs on online, going, they've only got one seat. You can't have passengers in the front. And the Sarissa options for the back of them, because they have benches where you can sit in, but they're in the back. They're not in the cab. So, or unless they're deep cabs, but whatever model Sarissa have done, it can't. So you can't have someone sitting in the front. I was like, but I've promised passengers. Don't quite get, and I want it to be so that it doesn't have to be for the Matador. Like, it's made to fit that, but you know what it's like with vehicle crew. You can sort of bodge them a bit to fit any vehicle you want, really. You know, shave a bit of their knee off. They're going to be holding at the wheel. One of them's peering out the window too, which I think is going to be pretty cool, because she'll be peering out and she can be looking at the Queen, the current Queen of England, Princess then, who is tinkering with a bit of problem with the wheel, while the Queen Mum goes, oh, I'm very proud. I'm very proud. Exactly. So I was like, well, people have paid for passengers and you can't have passengers. I said it would be one passenger, and then in an update I said, you know what, if I'm feeling it, I might give you 2 passengers for no extra cost. And I was like, damn, what do I do? It's quite late in the day to mention this. So I did a bit of research, looked around, and what I've decided on, which is what Rob is currently sculpting, is to have, I think he's doing 2 people. We had a bit of back and forth in, but to have 2 people sat in a that's the legs, sat like that, to sit on the back of the pickup variant, because you can also then, if you haven't got the pickup variant, or don't build it like that, because you can have it as a tanker or a covered, then you can use it for anything, because they could be sitting against a wall or some hay bales. It's two waff ladies just chilling. You can't see me now, but yeah, sat on the floor, sat on the bit, the legs out, just leaning up against the back. So they'll be leaning up against the back of the cab, so they could be hitching a ride somewhere on the back of it. So I'm excited about how that's going to look. So it looks great in my head. So I had looking on the train, looking at various people sitting in the back of pickups. So that's cool. I think that's all of his. Oh, he's also done the Fiadolite. He's got the sculpts with him. So Alan did the people sculpts, and Rob's just adding the Fiadolite, so we can look at the weather balloon. The balls worked. The oh yeah, I've got those here. The little plastic balls for the weather balloon, because I was concerned. I didn't want to cast just a little ball. Reality, it'd be about that big, I think. So trying to find the correct size scale. Thank you to everyone who helped with that as well. Helped me figure it out. They are little plastic balls that are going to go in the pack with you, with you. So I think I'm going to make it, because I've got her master cast, the lady holding it. I might leave a little groove in her hand like that, so it'll really nicely just sort of pop on. And they can be glued. Gluing is probably going to be fine. I'm going to test it out myself. But a little pin would probably help a lot, just to make it really secure. But that's cool. So there's the balloons. They're sorted. That was a strange sort of diversion in my, should have sorted this earlier. But I now have a box of, well, I said big box. It's only a box about that big. Surprising how many you can fit in. I'll have loads of little balls that will be going in, and that will help with the cost of the pack as well and make it not too crazy. Hey! Woo-woo. Angeli is streaming the next 3 weeks, and was last week, so you can check back on last week's, 3 o'clock, painting up my heroine, which is Shield Maiden. One of our Shield Maiden vignettes. There's a Shield Maiden rescuing a civilian dressed in that sort of tabard long dress, with potentially a bit of gay overtones. Who knows? Maybe the big rainbow on the packaging. But it can be used. Doesn't have to be gay. It's quite gay, really. So it's a bit of a twist on that crappy trope of Viking dragging woman off. So they're both smiling, so she's very happy to be rescued, to be fair. It also has a bit of that carrying over the threshold thing about it, which really is really sweet. Angela is painting 2 of them at once, and it is absolutely lovely. So if you come along at 3, I may pop in and out. I think I'll be in full Kickstarter mode by then, but I think I'll pop over for some tea breaks. So come over, you can chat in the comments, support Angeli because she's wicked and she's trying to get more and more people over on her Twitch. I think you can get a free subscription if you have Amazon Prime, so yeah, go check it out. Any questions, just ask her. She's watching now, so she can always post in the bottom there. So that's awesome. And yeah, so do that. And she's been really good for Bad Squiddo, so do that. What other bits? Alan Sculpting. I'm going to finish this because it's cold, and I'll tell you about Alan Sculpting. I'm quite dainty today, and I'm still drinking. I should drink it like this, shouldn't I? That's sort of strange. I don't use handles, do I? That lovely guinea pig. The one I'm doing is super gay, says Angeli. Yes. Stephen, are you at Hammerhead this year, please? I am. That's 2 weeks, I think. I'm in the usual spot, which is sort of at the back. Who am I next to? I'm near Dave Lanchester Books, which I'm getting suspicious now. It's just it's happening more and more. Maybe he realises that I always buy loads of books off him. He's like, make sure I'm near to Bad Squiddo, because then when it gets quiet, she comes over and buys all the books. But he's always a good one to find because he's the book guy, and he has some good books too. So do that. Yay! The map is up, so you'll see me on there. I like Hammerhead a lot. It's not too far. Hooray! Gayness is always historically accurate unless they have the wrong number of buttons. That is correct. Yes, got to have the correct number of buttons. I lose sleep over whether I have the correct number of buttons. It's crazy. I'm in fear of that guys, but again, it's like, it is handy because I do want to make the stuff, well, especially World War II, as accurate as possible. But it can get frustrating when you feel like you've kind of put your all into it, and then someone goes, yeah, you've done that wrong. You're like, oh. Getting better because I do less things wrong because I'm now a genius on World War II. Ooh. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Bam. Downing more. So, Alan Sculpting. Alan's our main sculptor on the project and one of our main sculptors in general. So he's done all the World War II stuff. Most of the Shield Maiden sort of troop types. Just loads of stuff. Done loads of the latest Genny pets. He's everywhere. He is ace and I love him. And if you're watching it, hello Alan! But you shouldn't be watching it because you should be sculpting. He is toiling away at the moment. It was also his birthday recently, so happy late birthday to Alan. Yay! Alan is wicked. He has just finished the evacuees, so I'll be putting some pictures up of those later today. They're not the best pictures because they are pictures from sculptors, which are notoriously bad, but you'll be able to see what they look like, which is cool. They're everything I hoped and dreamed. So yeah, just a bunch of little kids. There's a tiny little boy in a war helmet, in the Brody helmet, which is so cool. So they're really sweet. He's going to start the Girl Guides next, so I'm guessing that'll be the next week task. And then, what's he got? He's got the nurses, the SOE, the gas mask heads. So it's going to take him a bit of a while just to get through that chunk of stuff. But I'm putting the pledge manager up today. Is that the right? That's not it. That's a double piece. I'm putting the Kickstarter pledge manager up today and rolling out the codes today. And not everything will be there. So not all the sculpts, they'll all be there to choose. Your pledges will be there to choose, but all the sculpts aren't ready yet. But this means if you don't care and you know what you want, or what you want's all got pictures, or you just know you're going to want it because it's going to be ace. You know, none of them are going to be a disappointment because look at the background, the record, they're ace. So if you want to, you can do that. It's, you know, it helps me out if you can fill that in now, helps me get the numbers of the casters. If you think, you know what, I'd really like Christina Scarbeck, but I want to see what it looks like first, then the pledge manager will be open for that whole time until all the sculpts are done, and then a bit of time afterwards. So that, sorry, brain's always like going bloop bloop. So that, yeah, you can wait to see the model. I'm not expecting you to pledge, well, put your money in blind. Lots of people pledged blind, but I get that you might have pledged for a pack that you knew you'd like, and then you're kind of deciding. So that's totally fine. If you put the pledge manager through and then afterwards you see some pictures and go, damn, I wish I'd added that, send me a message and we'll sort it out, and that's fine. Or just pop it through the shop, choose the collect at show option, and then just put your backer number in, or your last order number in the comments. Yeah, your last order number. Last order number. So then I'll just know to combine them, and then that'll be fine, and it means they'll just ship together. Try not to do that like 8 times or anything. But yeah, if you see something late and you're like, yeah, that's getting added, of course I will let you add it. That will be fine. So yeah, this is an interesting Kickstarter in that it is very old school Kickstarter, instead of just all the stuff is ready, yep, now it's done and now it's shipped. So it is still being sculpted, has been slightly delayed by me, but I'm always apologetic about this stuff. Well, like, the Kickstarter is in December, everyone. It's now the end of February. I think that's fine. And the goal was to be out for April. It would normally have been a longer wait, but I do this a lot. A longer wait, but yeah, the Salute, having new releases at Salute is such a big deal, so that's why it's so, this is going to be crazy. Poor old mum's going to have to come up when all that metal arrives. Bang. But we're pretty efficient now at getting these Kickstarters done and dusted, so woohoo. I've got new releases for Salute, which are not World War II. So I've got those dwarves. If you've not seen them, have a little look. They are a sneak peek I put up. Also, because someone post the time, because I don't have time. The numbers are dropping. No, gotta go. What other bits? There's so many things to say. Kickstarter, pledge manager. I don't know what I was saying. Yes, dwarves. Dwarves, shield maidens. What else have I got? There are quite a few other unreleased, unmentioned things coming out at Salute. A few people have had some surprise miniatures in their orders recently, which are unreleased. They will be a post. I don't know. They're going to be a post Salute project, but I have Expo so soon after Salute that I feel like there's not really going to be much of a gap. So I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm just getting a little bit of thing out to show you. So we shall see, but they're definitely not out yet. So if you've got them, you are allowed to post them around. So that's absolutely fine. Just say that they're a future project and you've got them super early. But they're nice. So there's some humans, fantasy and what else have we got? What of news? Keep an eye out for the pledge manager. That is very good. What else? I'm sure there's loads. What are all the other things? Pledge manager, retailers. It's always afterwards when I go, damn, why didn't I mention that? Got some very cool things being sculpted. One of them's got Skunk and Nancy as a reference. What are the other things? I have a photo shoot on Wednesday with Ross again, so I still haven't exactly decided what we're going to do, but it's going to have more of a theme. So we had a sandbox last time, but going to be a theme this time. So that's cool. I'll wrap up now. The numbers are dropping, everyone's going, no! They're like, damn it. I did another of those Games Workshop tutorial things, and I painted some cloaks, so I just wanted to show you my cloaks. I like that crackle medium's good. So that was another fun thing to do. I like this. So it's, yeah, just using a couple of different techniques. I like that. I don't like what I did with the grey, but the brushes were huge, so I couldn't really do much. I like that, that's cool. It's just like those contrasts. This one of those contrast bony ones I really liked. It's like, ooh, that's cool. So yes, I will be heading off. I will be going to the office and I'm doing it at the office where my computer is as well, to sit and get this done with no distractions. There's no food I can suddenly start cooking or guinea pigs to get out. I'll just be getting those images together. So keep an eye out on your inbox for the fabled pledge manager. And I think that's it. I think I can leave you in peace now and you can get on with your Sunday, do some stuff for a few hours and then come back, but go to Twitch, go to Geek Girl Bookworm's Twitch. She'll put another thing in the comments and you can watch some shield maidens being painted very nicely and again sort of hang out and have quite a chilled Sunday. So that's really cool. Thank you very much, and I will catch you again soon, no doubt. Thanks for coming along. Oh yeah, that's the little sproing. Cheers all, goodbye.